server went down for some fucking reason. Apparently. I haven't disconnected from the session. It's just the stream died. I don't know. I'm still here in the session. I haven't left. Connected from the game at all. It's just the stream died because lol. Of course it did. I don't know. But I'm still here. So this is part 2, final part of the race. Luckily for me, not a great deal is happening. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, for some freaking reason, it died. Like, I haven't even DC'd from the game. I'm still here. I'm watching this. It's just the stream died for some reason. I don't know why. It just did. Came up with a connection to the server was lost or something. I don't know. But anyway, we're still here. We haven't missed anything, so we'll continue on as normal. Now, I just quickly checked with Aussie. He's now got a penalty, so he's on level terms with Installator and with Kickbutt Kiwi. So it's very much looking like Harass in P1, Installator P2 and Aussie Suspect P3 at this stage. See if I can't find it. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, Constructor's looking almost wrapped up. Still got 2 rounds, plenty of points to score, so it's still mathematically possible for, I think it's Racing Point in second, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't know. Time for the final couple of laps at Circuit of the Americas, I guess. Still not a great deal happening. Let's ride on board, shall we? Let's see what this driver actually does. The race leader, Harass 18. Ferrari, thank you. Ferrari in P2. Well, they're not scoring any points here today. Not a single Ferrari. Interesting to see. Let's see how Harass operates himself. He's got a comfortable lead. This is sort of in his default state when he's nice and calm. Just setting lap times, just trying to be consistent. Goes down to mode 0 into turn 1. First gear. Jumps up to 3rd gear. 5th. 6th. Now through the S's. 7th gear. 6th gear. Still running no ERS. Candy Cane gets a 3-second time penalty. Still not running no ERSs. 3rd gear. Short shifts to 4th, minimise wheel spin, trying to avoid the inside curb at turn 9. I tend to get warnings there as well. I try to avoid it. Jumps up to 3rd gear. 4th, 5th, 6th. Onto the back straightaway. Into 8th, and he chucks it all the way back down to 0. Now I imagine if sector 1 tells me anything, he's going to run through this entire sector without using a drop of ERS. Through turn 15, nice and wide racing line. Now through turn 16, 17 and 18, very nice through there. Turn 19, still using no ERS, and now on corner exit, 2nd gear. Going to chuck it up to mode 4. There we go. So that's how the race leader conducts himself around this circuit. Uses plenty of ERS on the straights, and then in the corners uses none. It looks like he might be going for a fastest lap, because he's still keeping it in mode 4. He's attacking the S's a little bit more here. 5th gear, just a brief lift off the throttle, try and get the nose in. Into turn 8, 3rd gear. Short shifts to 4th. Attacks that curve a lot more aggressively, still in mode 4. Proximity Ross, a 3-second time penalty. Down the gears, clatters down, 2nd gear. Short shifts to 3rd. Blast down the straightaway. DRS, of course it's not open, it's not qualifying. He's losing a lot of ERS. Now down to 6%. And he chucks it down to none for Sector 3. You really don't need ERS through this bit. Kind of a waste. Just need to use it as an area to collect ERS. 1st gear to get that rotation. Short shifts to minimize wheel spin. It's a nice technique to learn. To use, in this game at least, to use the lower gears to get extra rotation. Through turn 19, still nothing, still none. And we're into the final corner, turn 20. What's this time going to be? Is it fastest lap material? Not quite. But he has opened up the gap to over 7 seconds over Installator. And Aussie Suspect is now really hunting down Installator. Now only 1.5 seconds behind, so we might have a battle here for 2nd place. Ken gets a 3-second time penalty. Also, as someone I for some reason haven't mentioned, is Deputy Gildog. After making a pit stop, he's now in 6th place, which is quite a healthy position. I thought he would be a lot further down than that, but no. He's recovered well into the top 6. He has got gold gloves behind, but on those fresher soft tyres. He should be able to cover him off at the very least. The gold gloves, he's a very quick driver, so I'm sure gold gloves will be desperately trying to push back to get that 6th place. But I think also that gold gloves has got quite a few penalties next to his name, so it looks like P6 is all wrapped up for Deputy. In fact, if penalties really do come into it, he might be aiming for 5th place, trying to take Lunacy. Let's see. He also got this. This is interesting. This is for the final point scoring position. Now, although yes, Mr. Griffin is involved in this, and he might be able to score 1 point, I think he's got quite a number of penalties next to his name. But it's a battle nonetheless. Down the inside goes Dan the Racer. Misty tries to follow him to overtake Ross. Into Turkey's turn 8, turn 16, 17 and 18. In that dirty air, Proximity Rosso going very wide. Someone's got a revving glitch, I can hear it. Oh, it's Ross, dearie me. I'll just quickly check the penalties with these guys. Dan the Racer, he's got 3 seconds. Misty Griffin has got 3 seconds. I thought he had more than that. Reedy, oh dearie me, it's quite a number of penalties. Ross is the driver I'm looking for. He's got 3 seconds. Oh, okay. So Misty, only 3 seconds. I thought there was a bit more than that. So these guys are actually on level terms at the moment. It's a very genuine battle, and we've also got the battle for P2 that we've got to look at as well. But I'm going to stay on board here as Griffin goes down the inside. But Dan the Racer is fighting back. Got a superb exit out of 11. But Misty Griffin with that DRS, he moves to the inside. Takes the position. Oh, Dan the Racer tries to look around the outside, but Griffin shuts the door. Oh, does he go for it? No, he doesn't, Dan the Racer. Moves himself down into P12 and he runs wide. He didn't need to do that. We finally have an exchange in position between these two. Wow, an interesting place to do it. I was going to wait until the back straightaway. Gold Gloves disqualified. I mean, I knew the dude had penalties. I didn't think he had that many. Incredible. He's out of the session with 2 laps remaining. He will score no points. Massive blow for Racing Point as well. Luckily for them, they still have a driver in the top 3. Incredible. I didn't think he had that many. That is incredible. 2 drivers disqualified from too many penalties. There we go. Do have a bit of an exchange between El Tonki and Reedy as well, battling for P12. Other than that, basically nothing as we move on to the final lap of the race. All of the drama happened in the beginning, and then the race proceeded to die off. It's pretty much the story of this race, unfortunately. Had a bit of drama in the end with Gold Gloves getting disqualified due to too many penalties. I didn't think he had that many to get disqualified, but apparently he did. As Aussie gets another 3 second. Or is that... No, I'm sure that's another. Yes, it is. He's on 6. Installator only on 3. So Installator will end up in 2nd place at the end of this lap. I don't believe it. Suspect on the last lap of the race gathers 1 extra warning and gets an extra 3-second time penalty. But the gap has opened up to 2.3 seconds. This might be close between these two. It's been an absolutely superb drive for Harass. To think his first race win came in Japan. But even at that point he was a championship contender. Now he's going to get his 2nd win of the championship. And what a critical time to do it. He wins the United States Grand Prix. Who comes in 2nd? Oh, this is going to be a lot closer than I think it is. Is it Suspect? Is it Installator? It looks like it's actually Suspect. It is by 0.2 of a second. He's done it. I thought Suspect was guaranteed to finish in 3rd, but he proved me wrong. Installator on the last lap, the tyres, I imagine, were completely dead. He will end up finishing in 3rd place, another 3rd place for the Racing Point driver. Kickbutt Kiwi in 4th, Lunacy in 5th. Up 5 positions as well. Deputy up 5 positions, finishing in 6th place. Candy Cane, a great drive from 16th to 7th. 8th, it seems. It's a 6th and 7th for Alfa Romeo. And Griffin actually scores 2 points because of penalties. There we go. There we go. So the championship lead was going to be 4 points if Misty didn't score anything. He scored 2 points here. So the gap between them coming into the 2nd last round of the championship is going to be 2 points. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But there we go. Not exactly an amazing race. All the drama happened at the start, then everything died off. But that happens. We always need a boring race or two. Can't be always exciting. But regardless of excitement, this race has proved to be a very critical one towards the championship. Harass wins, with Aussie Suspect in P2 and Installator in P3. There we go. Kickbutt Kiwi in 4th, Lunacy 5th, Deputy Dilldog in 6th, Proximity Ross in 7th, Candy Cane in 8th, Misty Griffin, that might prove critical, getting 2 points, 2 crucial points to close the gap to 2 points between himself and Harass. Harass now takes the championship lead, but only by 2. Oh, this championship has gone to a whole new level. Oh boy. Here we go. And Ardy, let's not forget, in 10th place, scores a single point for the McLaren team. Both McLarens in the points, both Renaults in the points, both Alfa Romeos in the points. So it's a very healthy day for certain teams in the Constructors' Championship, that is for certain. I'm sure these guys want to do a post-race interview, so I better do that. I'm going to go blue screen, and I'm going to invite these guys into the party. I'm gonna have to leave. Invite people. So Harass I've got. Where are you? There you are. And I need Aussie Suspect. Where are you? There you are. And I'll invite Installator. Harass, good to see you. Installator's got an underscore after his name, doesn't he? Pretty sure he does. Pretty sure Installator's got an underscore next to his name. I'm sure he does. Yep, I thought it was. Right, yeah. So I've got you two in the lobby, and I'm probably certain that your party settings are all good, but just a reminder, just to make sure. That way I'm not talking into nothingness. The standings. Oh, so party settings go into allow your voice to be shared and always allow. And Installator, you're in the party? Okay, good to hear. So I'll get out of this and we'll get into the showroom, so then we have all the pretty cars that we can look at. Let's see. But before I start asking any questions, I just want to say congratulations to all drivers in your respective finishing positions. But we'll obviously start off with the race winner. Harass, mate, it was a pretty clinical drive from you today. Not a great deal of action from your end, but a very fine drive nonetheless. Just talk us through what happened in your United States Grand Prix.
Yeah, I had a good start on Misty, and I'm sorry to Misty if I touched him or anything in the first turn. And after that, I was just away.
Mm. Yeah, that's pretty much it, wasn't it? There wasn't too much else. Did you have any struggles during the race at all, or was it pretty straightforward for you?
Just going through the S's, I couldn't go through them like I would like to. But yeah, I've done pretty good, I reckon.
And with that race win, did you get fastest lap? I'm not sure. I don't think you did. I think
someone else got it.
I think Ken might have gotten it because he was on softs, I think. But you now have the championship lead in the Drivers' Championship. You're leading by 2 points going into the next round, so you
Yeah,
must be a little bit anxious going to round 20.
yeah, I don't know what happened to Misty, but he was up there at the start.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what happened with him.
I,
But I couldn't see him on my map, so
I think he just made a mistake going through turn 7, I think it was. I'm not sure if he was helped, but I think from what I've seen, it looks like there's a sort of driver error, the back end stepping out. He collected a couple of drivers who couldn't avoid it, but yeah, so
yeah,
he
no,
ended
I
up
had
finishing 9th in the end.
oh yeah. Yeah, no, I had a good laning race, so I had good pace.
Hmm.
Those guys behind me, Aussie's always fast, so
Hmm.
gotta watch out for him, but he wasn't catching me very quickly, so I just sort of paced myself at the end, and
Hmm.
I think I was the only one with no penalties.
Yeah, exceptional drive to get no penalties at a circuit like this, where it's quite easy to do so. So a very good drive from you, and yeah, now taking the rest lead into the next round in Brazil. So yeah, this championship has definitely turned up a notch. So congratulations to you and the win.
I think, thanks Meg, I think we're, constructors are still coming first as well.
Yes, and I think you might have confirmed it. Don't quote me on that, but you might have scored enough to potentially take constructors. We'll have to wait and see. I think Ferrari are in second, and they didn't score any points here, so because no one raced for them. So you might have actually secured the constructors title, but we'll have to wait and see post race. But regardless, well done. And your second race win in the championship.
Thanks, Mick.
But we'll move on to second place, Aussie Suspect. Well done to you and your second place. A very fine drive from you. Just explain your race and also your strategy when you went through qualifying into the race as well, because you went a bit differently in compared to everyone else.
Yeah, so first off, congrats to the boys finishing first and third. Strategy-wise, I knew this circuit for obvious reasons was a bit of a tirade on those S's and all that sort of stuff. And I'm not really good at going slow with no grip. I prefer to just go hard, have a harder tyre, and just be able to have more of a constant grip under me rather than just have 2 laps of good grip and then just battling for 15 laps just to keep on track. Because if I went softs first, I probably would have got about 40 seconds of penalties. I don't know, it's just me. I prefer to have 20 laps of medium traction than just battle with softs on a real turn sort of circuit. I did realise that I was the only one that qualified in mediums, but I knew what my driving style was like, and I knew just to stick with it and not be a sheep and do all the around.
Well, I thought you might have blown it because I didn't think the hards were going to be quick enough to compete with everyone else. You proved me wrong, quite obviously. With that second place, it was an absolutely superb drive. But how difficult was it on the hard tyre to race around Circuit of the Americas? Was it a bit of a struggle having to try and push to keep up with the medium runners, or was it actually pretty comfortable for you?
No, it was pretty comfortable. I have found when I'm racing on hards, if I'm on a track that's very twisty and turny, they do work quite well. I think maybe just because they're constantly working, constantly being heated, they seem to work a lot better. So I have done a fair bit of practice knowing coming into this race that I was going to do mediums hard.
Yeah.
And have done practice on mediums and hards, and I found it pretty easy. That's why I was kind of comfortable with the strategy going into it. So I was actually thinking of you at the end of quali, and I'm like, I bet you're saying, I think he's done the wrong thing here, and I'm like, well, hopefully I haven't.
Well, I thought you might have pulled off a great bit of qualifying on the medium tyre. I just thought you were going to go onto the softs at the end of the session, and I saw you pit at lap 14. And I was like, wow, you're pitting really early for the softs, and I saw the hard tyre. And I thought, and I did say it in the other stream, because for some reason my stream disconnected. I was still in the session, but the stream just disconnected. That I thought you might have blown it. I didn't think the hard tyre was going to be quick enough to sort of keep you up there within the top 5. You have more than proven me wrong, and I'm glad that you have. It just shows how flexible the strategy can be, so long as you've got the car speed to make it work. And also with car speed, how hard were you pushing on those final few laps to try and open up a gap to Installator?
Oh mate, I knew that he had 3 seconds, so I knew as long as I get past him, we're all good, because that's all I needed. For some stupid reason, I'll go through most of the race okay, and then the last couple of laps I end up getting about 12 seconds of penalties, and tonight was no different. On the last lap I got another 3 second penalty, which gave me 6 seconds, and I was like, are you joking? Like, I'm almost done, I've almost got second in the bag, and I'll go ahead and do that shit. So I put it on Rich, I put it on over the hot lap, and I just put my foot down and just went, please. And then I was watching watching the time, and then I crossed the line, and I kind of just had my hand on my head going, am I going to keep it or am I going to lose it? Luckily,
2/10. That's all it was in the end. 2/10 of a second did very well.
The heart rate was up. The heart rate was definitely up.
No, you did very, very well on that last lap to pull out that gap, mate. That was very well done. And also, your championship, you score 18 points, so you have a 16-point advantage over Misty Griffin from this race. So that closes the gap down to 12 between you and Misty. So it's I think 14 points between you and Harass. How hard are you going to push in Brazil?
Well, I don't know if I should say this or not, but Brazil would have to be my worst track. I absolutely hate that track. So I'm going to be doing plenty of laps with my ass in this seat, getting good at it, because I'm not going to let go of this close battle at the top. But obviously, you don't play to come second, so
exactly.
They're not crash.
That's the way. That's what I want to hear. Well, good luck into round 20 in Brazil, and again, congratulations on your P2.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers. Thanks. Good on you, boys.
Now, P3 Installator, another podium for you, mate. One from Mexico, another one here. Another nice drive from you. Just take us through your United States Grand Prix.
Yeah, thanks, Mike, and congrats to guys as well. Really great race. Well, I qualified 5th and had a clean start, so was actually hoping to finish somewhere in top 5 possibly.
Yep.
But it was a miracle that I escaped the carnage somewhere. I don't remember who was it, but it was Renault or something else.
Yep.
So I escaped the carnage and just had a clean race more or less, and waited for mediums because well, these soft tires just work a couple of laps and then just struggle all the time.
Yep.
So I had to go maybe 1 lap earlier than I planned, because it just went off completely.
Yep.
And I was losing, I think, about 2 seconds a lap, so I just switched to mediums earlier and well, had a clean space more or less, did a couple of overtakes.
Yep.
And had a quite good pace, but yeah, so was he well behind me, and he was slowly catching up. And well, at the end of the race, the tires went off as well, so it was really hard to keep up the pace. And usually I tend to jump Ozzy when we battle on the track. I usually tend to jump him because he picks up many penalties. But this time
sounds about right.
Yeah, so, and I managed to pick up at 3 seconds, so I thought, okay, if he overtakes me, then I need to hope only for, well, 1 more penalty for Ozzy.
Yep.
But he managed to pull away quite fast, and I couldn't keep up
Yep.
with the tires. So, well, anyway, congrats to anybody and to everybody, and well, happy for the podium, and didn't expect that.
Well, how dead were those tyres at the end? Like, really, how horrible were they to drive?
Well, more or less actually, because more or less, but still I struggled most in this I think it was second sector in slow chicanes.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's where Ozzy actually gained most. Well, at least I felt that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think every single lap it got worse and worse. So
Yeah.
yeah, with no traction, with no ABS, it's quite hard to manage
Hmm.
to keep pace consistent.
But, and also you mentioned the incident between a Renault. That was actually Misty Griffin that went around in that sector. Now, did it seem like he lost it by himself, or was there a helping hand in any of that? Or didn't you get a quite good enough view of it?
I didn't see how it started, but I saw that car was, well, I saw car spun and collected some other cars, and I was just almost in the middle of this. I
Yep.
don't know how I escaped that, so I just
Yep.
braked as much as possible, almost stopped, and somehow they just, well, found the gap to squeeze.
Yep.
Just luck, really luck.
Well, no, thank you for joining us in the commentary box, Installator, and again, congratulations on your P3, your second podium in a row in this Tier 2 championship.
Thanks.
Awesome drive, mate.
Well, I think that will about end it. I can't think of too much off the top of my head. Yeah, I think I will end it here at COTA. So, third last round has been completed. We've now got 2 rounds to go, and we've got 2 very different and very awesome racetracks in this game, at least. Round 20, Brazilian Grand Prix at Autodromo José Carlos Pache. It is almost a guaranteed awesome race there. I have very high hopes that it's going to be a very awesome race. But until then, I've been the Smeg. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in Interlagos next week. And good night.